I'm delighted to have you here at this webinar. It's called How Digital Donor Advised Funds and Non-Cash Gifts Can Boost Your Giving Season. I'm your host, Eli Vandergeesen, and I'm a community manager with TechSoup. With me today in the chat is the GiveWise team and TechSoup Canada's Adele Rayworth. So I want to now give you a quick intro to our guest for today. Let me tell you about Jessica, who is the Generosity Growth and Partnerships Lead at GiveWise Foundation Canada. Jessica is driven by a lifelong passion for community engagement, service, and social change. At GiveWise, Jessica works closely with charities to simplify online giving, strengthen donor relationships, and prepare organizations like yours to meet the needs of today's digital donors. Jessica is passionate about helping fundraisers understand the growing role of donor-advised funds in Canada and how they can create a better, more seamless giving experience as we approach GivingTuesday and, more generally, the season of generosity. So with that, let me pass the baton over to you, Jessica.
I really appreciate this collaboration with TechSoup. So hello, everyone. I am glad you can join today. As Eli mentioned, my name is Jessica Rayne. I work with GiveWise, and I have an amazing role supporting charities with their fundraising goals. And in this presentation, I really want to focus on how we can better utilize some of these tools and resources so that you can get your giving season going. Let's delve in here. So I don't know if everyone has heard of GiveWise. Probably much of you have, especially on the West Coast. We are a registered Canadian public foundation, which means we're fully compliant with Canadian charitable regulations, giving our donors peace of mind and the charities that we work with. We operate a donor-advised fund, so often referred to as a DAF, which offers flexible ways for donors to manage their charitable giving. And we're going to get into that a lot more throughout this presentation. And I know if you're working in the charity space, you have heard this term, DAFs, Donor Advised Fund. It's definitely something that keeps on coming up. And so we're going to delve into that a little more. We also offer innovative tools like GiveGenius, supporting charities and accepting gifts, especially complex assets, in a streamlined, efficient way. So a little history. We have been doing this since 2018. Founders Tammy and Dan Kite saw an opportunity to build something to support donors like themselves to give to charities seamlessly, receive a tax receipt, and then track their giving. So really, simplicity is at the heart of what we do. But our mission and values is to spread generosity. So we want to make it easier for everyone to participate in philanthropy, which is why we work with a number of stakeholders, donors, charities, financial advisors, even independent folks who just want to fundraise for a great cause. And we help make it happen, right? So an important aspect of our work is our partnerships with charities. So we want to make it clear we do not compete with charities. Instead, we are collaborative. We're really here to amplify the impact of donation. Let's move on to a little more stats about GiveWise. As of now, and growing, 16,315 gifts have been made to a variety of charities through GiveWise. We have 106 million in total charitable contributions, and 45 million and counting have been sent to charities by GiveWise donors. So quite a lot of generosity activity happening with GiveWise for sure. So now I want to talk to you all about the good old days. And when we think about the good old days, we're really thinking about when charities were accepting gifts in the good old days. What did that look like? And it was really simple. There was typically two ways, right? Cash, check. That's all. But we know now a lot has changed over the years with technology, digital giving methods. There are now numerous ways to contribute. And obviously, also a lot of different challenges come up. And we're so grateful for these new evolutions in technology, because when you think about the postal strike, If you were only accepting cash and check during that time, your charity would definitely be extremely significantly impacted, right? So now it's a new world. A new world has emerged, unlocking so much potential to encourage donors to give from their wealth and not just from their wallets. So not just check, not just cash, but a number of options, right? And why this is so important is because 85% of Canadian wealth is held in assets, not cash. It's not in their wallet. Yet many charities are still only communicating two options for donations, credit card or check. And even if they do have other options, it's just not being communicated clearly or there's not a clear process for them. So this means charities are missing numerous opportunities to receive these contributions if they do not effectively communicate with donors that they accept these gifts, or if they are not prepared to receive them. So we hear that a lot. Somebody wants to give, but they just don't have a system or they're not prepared. And if you lose that opportunity, some folks will go to another charity to give, right? If you don't have that process in place. So currently we see, as I mentioned, many organizations lacking the appropriate language on their website or the seamless processes to accept these alternative gifts. So this often presents an opportunity for us to support folks in broadening the conversation, but for charities to broaden their conversation with donors and spark their interest in exploring these different ways to give. So why is this important? I'm going to reference the Planned Giving for Canadians 2024. It's important because complex giving, so DAFs, securities, can lead to 20 to 30% larger gifts. Donors who give from assets tend to give 6 times more over time. And charities that educate donors earn their trust, their generosity. So it's all about relationships, right? And education during those relationships, those conversations. So it's very important to understand this. All right, so what is a donor advised fund? Now, or a DAF, as folks have probably heard a lot about it and are probably many folks really familiar with it as well. I'm just going to read this definition. Donor advised fund, a giving vehicle administered by a registered charity, so GiveWise and other charities out there, which allows donors to give assets today, receive a tax receipt today, and provide recommendations on the gifting of those assets to charities in the future. And now I wanted to show a visual because visuals always really bring it home. So this vehicle allows donors to contribute assets, as you see now, obtain the immediate tax receipt, and then suggest how these assets should be distributed to charities later on. So this approach not only provides flexibility and control over charitable giving, but also maximizes the impact of the donation. So by engaging with a DAF, donors can plan for future generosity while enjoying the financial advantages of today. So let's talk about DAFs as Canada's fastest growing giving tool. So I want you to just take a look at this graph here and first notice the impressive growth. Canada's DAF market expanded at an 18% annual rate from 2018 to 2023. So that's when GiveWise was just founded in 2018. Next, if you see the payout ratios, so in 2023, DAFs paid out 9.7% of their assets, significantly higher than the CRA's minimum requirement of 5%. And in 2024, GiveWise, we had actually outperformed by dispersing 53% of funds, which is well above the average. Finally, consider the market concentration in 2022. So the top 5 DAFs held 76% of assets, made 71% of grants, and received 74% of contributions. This illustrates the influence and the effectiveness of these top players in the field. And so these were compiled by us from publicly available reports, ensuring the transparency and reliability of what the industry is looking like right now. All right, this is my favorite part. So we're going to debunk the myths about donor advised funds and the misconceptions. So over the past year, I've been working with charities, a lot of different charities, having so many great conversations, which has been amazing. They've been educating me, I've been educating them, especially around the DAF space. And I've heard a number of misconceptions about DAFs. And one thing to understand is not all DAFs are the same. There are digital DAFs, traditional DAFs. There's DAFs with minimums, DAFs without. There are DAFs that are more restrictive and more flexible. So it's important to charities to understand the unique capacities and capabilities of the types of DAFs out there and what they're actually looking for. The donors as well, educating their donors on what type of DAF they are looking for. Right? So let's address some of these common myths and surrounding DAFs and see how GiveWise can be a game changer for you. So the first one, concerns about anonymity. So I have heard charities' frustrations time and time again about receiving a donation, which they're so grateful for, right? You receive this great big donation and you don't know who it's from. You have no clue. Your team is searching to understand where this gift comes from, and you are left with no answers. And not being able to get these details and this contact information, it's bittersweet, right? Charities appreciate the donation, but they see this as also a missed opportunity to thank the donor, to actually build a relationship with the donor and engage them in the future. So this kind of further creates this distance and perception that the middleman that creates a barrier between the donor and the charities, and not all DAFs. In reality, with GiveWise, we use a charity portal, and charities are able to view all their donor names, contact details in real time, maintaining transparency, fostering stronger relationships. The only way that wouldn't happen is if the donor actually directly says they want to remain anonymous, which rarely happens from our end, but we're seeing. Another myth. There's also the myth that grants are slow. Charities speak about waiting for weeks for a DAF gift to be dispersed to their charity and paperwork and all of that stuff. This may be the case for some DAFs and some experiences, but with GiveWise, we actually disperse funds weekly right into your bank account using EFT, so ensuring there's timely support for your initiatives. So we're really quick and efficient in that way. Another misconception is that DAFs hoard funds. So I've had a lot of conversations with charities where they believe that folks just put money in there and they just leave it, and it's not being dispersed to the charities. It's just staying there. So our donor portal offers complete flexibility with no limits or restrictions, encouraging active fund utilization. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, GiveWise has a 53% gift disbursement rate on our donor accounts, meaning donors who use GiveWise giving funds, they are not hoarding, they're actively giving. Not all DAFs are the same. However, ours are very flexible, and we are very transparent in that. So we've made it easy for donors to contribute, to give. We also collaborate with their financial advisors and allow donations to any Canadian charity, anytime, in any amount. Lastly, there's that belief that DAFs create more administrative work. But here's the truth. You'll receive a DAF gift regardless, right? You just want to be ready for it. So with GiveWise, we streamline that process by handling the receipts, the transfers, and even the complex assets, significantly reducing your workload. So we're really in it to also support, especially, I would say, small, medium-sized charities. We work with large charities as well in streamlining their processes as well. But what we want to do is reduce your workload and find something that's very seamless for you. All right. So how does this apply? Now you understand the importance of DAFs and why they are important for your charity to understand, and why they can be beneficial for you and your donors, and why they can no longer be ignored, right? You also have to understand how GiveWise can support your charity in receiving more complex gifts and open better communication and conversation between you and your donors about strategic giving. So we do that through GiveGenius. So this is our simple digital tool that unlocks other ways to give. It really works like a smart giving. So you can add to your website or your campaign page. Donors can give by credit card, bank transfers, securities, DAF, cryptocurrency. They can even plan a future gift, like legacy planning and stuff like that. All gifts are processed through GiveWise with the donor info shared in real time. There's no extra setup. There's no real admin for a very small cost to charities. So, built from our work with charities over the past year, learning what support they truly needed, we've actually been enhancing this. We've added practical resources and education to help charities and their teams use it with confidence. We are now building out more hands-on, high-touch packages to guide charities and donor communication, creating a DAF strategy and digital giving readiness. So we're really trying to do this holistic support for charities and building that out more as we continue to listen and hear what charities need. So GiveGenius really helps donors give from their wealth, to simply put it, and not just their wallet. It makes it very easy for your charity to accept gifts and helps your charity grow generosity with ease. And I love this picture here because it kind of shows you every gift, every way, one place. So your donors want to give shares, crypto, DAF grants, but often they don't know if you accept it. And GiveGenius is just one simple button that you can have on your website that unlocks non-cash gifts simply and easily. And you don't need a whole new system for it. It's just one link. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put on our donor glasses for a moment. We're all going to I think we all know that the website is the first impression, right? And this is where donors are coming. A lot of donors will come through your website. Obviously, relationships are number one and prioritized, but your website speaks a lot, right? And it's where folks go to build some trust and see the history of your organization and to donate. So we're going to look and see, what is your website saying about the ways donors give? Or how they can give, I should say. Every day I speak to charities, as I said, and they're doing incredible work, but unintentionally making it harder for donors to give. Often it's not about the lack of generosity, it's also some of the clarity. And so how could it better be communicated? How can the online experience be a bit more seamless to make it easier to give, or easier to just open up that conversation to think about giving's their wealth and their wallet? So we're going to take a quick look at an example. We'll look at another charity's website together, not to critique, but to learn. As we walk through it, I'll highlight where they're missing out on opportunities simply because their giving options aren't clearly communicated or visible. This kind of quick audit is something that every organization can do and probably should do and has done. A lot of folks probably already have done it. It helps to see your digital presence and how folks can navigate. So we're going to look at Mercy Corps. Let's hope my links are working. Okay. And I'll have to look at this screen. All right, so here we land on Mercy Corp's website. So great, I'm a donor, I'm looking to donate. So I love that they have the donate button right on the right-hand side at the top, right there. I don't gotta scroll no more. It's right there. So I go to donate, and I have in my mind what I want to donate. I want to donate from my wealth. So automatically, typically, we see this a lot. Credit card is the first. It's easy. It's convenient, right? But it comes with fees. Sending $10,000 via credit card is going to be a lot more than $10,000, right? This is typically what at first, right? Credit card, PayPal, donate, but these are all credit card options. And nothing's wrong with that. Definitely a great option, right? But we want more. Now, if I was somebody who was wanting to donate securities, this would be a little challenging. But I can search around, of course. Let's search around. So as we go down a little more, we see there are other options to give. In this small area here, this fine print, you can see donate by phone. You can donate by mail. You can download this print form. It's an option, right? Yeah, it's an option. And you can give through cryptocurrency donor advised fund. And they have a learn about other ways to give, which is great. Fantastic. Other ways to give, we love that. And so when you go to their other ways to give, you go down and still searching through, but you see the other ways that you can give, which is awesome. Now, they're doing a great job. We at GiveWise would always say, make it easier, make it cleaner, make it more simple. So what we would suggest is something like this. The moment you go to that donate button on the right-hand side and you press it, other ways to give comes up and you see everything on one page. You don't have to search all these other pages. It's all there for your donor to see all of the options, but also to consider, right? So that's how we would suggest doing it. So now I want to take you through our own GiveWise platform and the donor experience and what we have built for charities and donors. So I'm going to take you through a quick demo. Here we are, and typically I will walk charities through this here. So as you see, you'll see a lovely website. On the right-hand corner, the donate button, which we always suggest. When you press that donate button, you get to a ways to donate page, which clearly specifies ways that your donor can give, right? Credit card, this is how you do it. E-transfer, this is how you do it. By check, here you go. And the space that we play in is the other ways to give. So if your charity currently does not have a process for accepting cryptocurrency, donor advised fund, or other non-cash gifts, complex assets, GiveWise can definitely be a solution for you. And we also support with credit card, e-transfer, and check if needed. But really, like I said, we don't compete with charities. We're really trying to supplement and make it easier for you to accept gifts. So let's go here because I want to donate securities. And log out here. And so when you press that link, you arrive at the GiveGenius giving page. So you'll have your charity logo, your charity registration number, and then it will have all these options that your donor could actually donate. So their preferred payment donation. Now, they might have something in mind, but actually browsing through this list might even open up more ideas on what they need. Future gifts, flow-through shares, insurance gifts. These are all things they might want to think through. So let's go through and we will do securities. I have securities in mind. So a lot of folks right now probably do securities and it maybe not an online digital process. They have to print out a form, submit the form, mail the form, get back to them. It's probably a long process. So I'll show you how we do it. So we'll do one here. $10,000 quantity, huh? 10,000, right? You can add an additional. We'll just do Google. There we go. One there and 5,000. No negatives. All right. Purpose of gift. So on the back end, you get to set up your purpose of gift. We'll say that we're doing capital campaign right now. And your donor gets to thank you and leave a nice message. They'll have to do a self-attestation to certify that this is for charitable use and not personal benefit. Continue. Now, because GiveWise is actually issuing the tax receipt, we're going to need some information for CRA. So you get their name, their phone number, their address. Next. And now, of course, with the securities, if they're doing a security transfer, they're going to need to know a bit about the security firm that they are, the information of their securities, right? So we're going to put a security firm, let's say Wealth, name, contact advisor's name. Just making up names here, not real information. All right, so they'll have to fill this out. And then there's an acknowledgement that GiveWise Canada cannot control when a security is received. So to ensure receiving within a specific calendar year, please allow sufficient time as GiveWise is not responsible for delays. So I understand that the cost recovery fee according to the fee schedule will be deducted from the donation proceeds. So currently it's $50 per transaction for security. All right, so your donor will land on this page, review, okay, Apple unit, approximately 10,000, Google, 1 unit, approximately 5,000, a total of 15,000. It's going to be scheduled for now, one time, and then they have the ability to wish to remain anonymous or not, and give now. Now, because this is a security, there is one more step. They have to download the letter of direction and email it to their firm, their security firm, to release the funds. So that is the donor, and they'll also get an email. So that is the donor experience. So now I'm going to take you to what is the charity. So as the charity, what is Casey Rayne just made $5,000 gift and a $10,000 gift was initiated. So you can look at your activity and see all of the details. You see the amount, you see your donor's name, and you see their email address so that you can continue to have that relationship with that donor. You'll also get a note or purpose of gift if you indicated that there's different gifts designations. And you'll see the state of it. So if it was sent, if it was initiated, again, with securities, they have to have the security firm release the funds. So for right now, it's initiated. It will be sent once received. Again, disbursements, you can see your disbursement activities. So as I mentioned, GiveWise releases the funds, disperses the funds, all the funds that have been raised through your GiveWise link, your GiveGenius link, will be actually dispersed to you once a week. And then you can also check out your recurring gifts. So that's a little bit of our platform and what you get to see, the dashboard. Again, the gift designations that you get to set up. If you have specific projects that you want your donors to give to, you set up your direct deposit. That's where you'll get your gift disbursement. Your charity profile, you can update this so that donors that are on our platform will have the most relevant information if they are looking to give to you through the platform. You can invite users, so your treasurer, your finance team. And then lastly, the GiveGenius tab. This is an important tab because this is where you get your special GiveGenius link that you can actually embed into the buttons on your website so folks can give using the GiveGenius giving page. And you can also customize your gift option. So again, if you don't want credit card because you have a seamless way of using credit card or processing credit card and you already have taken care of bank transfers through your own system, you might only want to use us for particular gifts. And then also we have helpful resources. So that's the back end for your charity. Let's go back here now. All right. I also wanted to just give you a few examples of organizations that we are currently working with or partnered with that are doing some amazing work. But the reason why I am using them as examples is to show you the variety of ways that folks partner with GiveWise and the GiveGenius button. So let's go to Amazon Rainforest. They're doing great work. They do a great job at highlighting the ways to give on the top right-hand corner. When you go to their ways to give, they really do a great job. Single gifts, monthly gifts, in tribute, donor advice fund, they lay it all out. Now, this organization is partnered with GiveWise to only accept donor advice funds in cryptocurrency. They have a great system for everything else. They don't need any support there. They only need support here. So when you go to their donor advice fund link, you see they do an excellent job at actually educating and communicating with their donors about donor advice funds, how it works, what to do. And if you're interested in donating via a DAF or setting up a DAF, we partner with GiveWise to make these options simple and secure. So if you go there, you see their link and you can give through DAF or cryptocurrency using the link. So they do a great job. Joshua House, again, does a great job. Let's go to their main page. Here's Joshua House. Again, right-hand side, donate. Once you press donate, you are brought to a page that is clearly specifies the ways that you can give. They partnered with Donor Perfect to do credit card and electronic fund transfers. And they've partnered with GiveWise to do planned giving options and other ways to give. So when you go to their link, you'll see all the options that they make available to their donors to give through GiveWise. I'll do one more. We have Inasmuch, another organization doing great stuff. Again, great way, donate now. And they've set it up that with GiveWise, they actually do credit card, donor advice fund, crypto, bank transfers. They have a seamless way that's integrated with their CRM to do credit card, and they have their own internal processes for check and e-transfer. Similarly, with Impact Hope, you'll see something similar with their donate and all the ways folks can give, which is a little different. You kind of have to scroll. And then you have GiveWise here to donate through GiveWise Advice Fund. And they do some education, which is great, right? That is some examples of how folks are using us in different ways or partnering with us in different ways. Again, we're not competing with charities. We just want to be a solution if you already don't have a way to accept gifts. And we really encourage folks to educate their donors about giving strategically and giving from their wealth. All right, so getting ready for giving season and GivingTuesday, it's just around the corner. So what can you do? So here are some things that we are encouraging you to do. Audit your website. Look at your website through your donor's eyes. Make sure your donate page is clear and inspiring and easy to find. Please add other ways to give. So include different options, which is going to be very important for other ways to give. So include the bank transfers, the securities, the DAFs, the other non-cash gifts. What we always say is that even when you have them there, like folks now start thinking about those things. I didn't know that you take insurance gifts. Like they start thinking about that and you can have that conversation with them. So it's really good to have that. Activate your GiveGenius link. So add your GiveGenius button or shareable link on so donors can give in more ways without extra work for your team. So I'm really encouraging folks to book a time to chat with me so we can discuss that in more detail. Communicate early. So share updates about new giving options in your newsletter, emails, and GivingTuesday campaigns. 5, educate your donors. So show appreciation. Let them know about smarter, more flexible ways to give through your organization. And lastly, connect with the GiveWise team. So book a short support call. Let's go over your website, review your setup, and make sure your charity is like fully ready for the season of generosity. And we can do all, which would be great. So I just leave you with this. Donors would give more if we show them how. So let's show them how to do that. What's next? So you can take this QR code and book a free call, and we can chat more specifically about your charity needs and your fundraising goals. Take a look at your website and really get you started. And we also want you to sign up for our charity newsletter because we have exciting updates in there and we share great tools and resource stories. So that would be great as well.
We have such a great selection of questions coming in. I'm excited to bring in Tanis from the GiveWise team, who is going to pepper those questions at Jessica, and we'll make sure we hit as many of these as possible in this time.
My name is Tanis. I am on the GiveWise Foundation team here with Jessica. And as Eli said, we got a lot of great questions. We'll try to get through them all. I've grouped them into some themes here. We'll pepper them at Jessica and she'll take them on. All right, there's a couple here on basic tax questions, DAF basics. Do donors have to give through their own family or community foundations, DAF? And another one, is there a tax benefit to giving through a DAF instead of giving directly to a charity?
So donors would have to have their own DAF because, of course, they get a tax receipt. So you're going to have to ensure that all of that information that you are setting up that DAF with is in your name so that you can get that tax receipt, right? And it applies to you. Now, the other part of that question is the tax advantages. So the thing is that depending on what your lifestyle is, income bracket, yeah, there are a lot of tax benefits for folks. So when we think about entrepreneurs who are faced with capital gains, when we think about folks who are making large purchases or have a lot of investments or return in investments, when they're actually contributing to their DAF, they're getting a tax receipt right away that can offset some tax savings or offset capital gains when they're doing their taxes. So definitely, this is why we work with a lot of financial advisors with their clients to support them in this. Financial advisors tend to collaborate with us because they can actually support in tax savings for their clients. So it is definitely something to think through. And when we talk about strategic giving, it really is about those contributions, understanding what kind of tax advantage, working with your accountant, your financial advisor to understand what those advantages look like for you.
Great. Thanks, Jessica.
Great question.
There's some awesome questions in here, and hopefully we can address them all, but we'll do our best here. Another one, they're under the grouping of finding and engaging your DAF donors. I'll list a few and then we can go through. So a couple of ones that came through is, how do charities find donors who already hold a DAF? Should charities proactively find these donors or simply promote that they accept DAF gifts? How do charities contact DAF providers? Do they wait for disbursements or reach out? There's a couple tips.
Yeah, there is so many. That's a great question. One thing I do want to clarify, because sometimes we get it, like we get charities who will reach out and, hey, I want you to connect us with your DAF donors. We don't do that. That's not how we work. So it's really on the charity to communicate to their donors that they accept DAFs, to encourage their donors to create a DAF if they don't have a DAF, but you have to have that conversation. You have to communicate. Now, how to find DAF holders, we always say, yeah, it's just starting with that communication on your website, right? We accept donor advised funds. This is the reason why they're so important for donors to have, just opening up that conversation. Now, some charities do specific deep work and prospect research around finding those donors who have DAFs, but we're not really specialties in that arena. We work with donors and we want to be the bridge for charities and donors, but we're not actively, I guess, encouraging. We do not encourage donors oh, give to this charity, or here, why don't you connect with this charity? We don't do the matchmaking of it. Great question, because we do get that a lot. How can I get in front of donors who have DAFs? What do I do to do that?
Excellent. Thanks, Jessica. Yeah, there's some great questions in here. There was quite a lot of chat asking if this is Canada only and what's available to US. So I know within the chat, everyone was helping out with some links. It's great. Stephanie Sword within the chat sent in some great US DAF resources within there that people can reference. And of course, Eli, great comment here. The GiveWise platform is for Canadian organizations, but the best practices on soliciting and encouraging other ways to give is applicable to all charities, no matter where you are. So there's a lot of chat, amongst if this is Canada only, but thank you, Stephanie, for putting in some great links there. That covered a lot of topics of, is this Canada only? Do you work outside of Canada? That was a very common question. A couple more here. Is, can a donor donate a life insurance policy to GiveWise with the cash value funding their Give fund?
Yeah, so we actually have, Dan Kite actually does all of the bequests, the estate planning, insurance gifts, and works with the donor to solidify that. So absolutely, we accept insurance gifts. So what I would suggest is that if you reach out, we can have a connection with Dan to walk you through that. We also have resources on our website around that, but we definitely do that.
Here's a good one for you, Jessica. How prominently should other ways to give button be displayed?
As I mentioned, I just feel, and I mean, I think this has been best practice. If you have a donate button, which you should have a donate button, top right hand of your website, that should lead folks to ways to give page that has all of the ways that they can give, just like how I laid out in that demo. It should be very clear. They should not have to look in multiple pages and different forms and fine print. It should just all be there. And so we use other ways to give because, as I mentioned in that visual, there are so many ways to give, but often donors keep on seeing credit card. That's the first thing when you press donate, credit card comes up. And we need to do better at showcasing the variety so that folks can also think of other ways to give. Because if you're going to make a big gift, you're probably not going to do that via credit card because of those fees, right? You want more to get to the charity. And that's very important. And those are some of the things to think through. Definitely have other ways to give and make it as clear as possible on your website.
Yes, that's great. That's a topic we love to discuss here at GiveWise, is make your other ways to give as prominent as possible. Make it easy for your donors. Here's a good one that just came in that I'm sure many are wondering is, how do I set up my DAF?
Oh, nice. Simple. So with GiveWise, it's a digital DAF. So this makes it so easy. And we always make the reference of doing your taxes electronically versus doing your taxes by mail. Right? So it's so easy because we're a digital DAF. You visit the GiveWise website, you will see in the top right-hand corner, either log in or sign up. You press sign up, you have to have an email, and you will put in some information. Voila. We say no longer than 2 to 3 minutes to set up. And the great thing is, to set up a DAF, there's no fees to set up a DAF with GiveWise. So we try to make, at one point, DAF holders, or the idea of having a donor advised fund, was for the ultra wealthy or high net worth. That's what it used to be classified as. We're making this very accessible to folks. Of course, folks who have larger account balance in their DAF, that's where there will be fees. Over 25,000, then we start taking fees. But yeah, it costs nothing to open up a DAF with GiveWise, and to keep it going costs nothing. But of course, we're in it to spread the generosity. So definitely spread that generosity.
That's great. And it answers a second question that came in very similar. As Cindy asked, do banks set up the DAFs? What is the benefit of giving a DAF rather than a straight donation?
do banks, or the first one, do banks set up DAFs? Yes. So a lot of banks do have their own DAFs. And I don't know if you were in, I spoke a bit about all DAFs can be different. There's charitable impact, there's RBC DAFs, there's TD has DAFs, and some have, some are not digital, right? So they're paper-based. You've got to have all the forms and stuff like that. They might have minimums. You have to have an account balance minimum of at least 10,000 or even to open it. So there's a lot of different capacities and capabilities of DAFs. So you have to know what you're looking for and what level of flexibility you're looking for. The other part of the question was, sorry, why give from a DAF? I think it was that, right?
Yeah. Do banks set up the DAFs, which you just, and what is the benefit of giving a DAF rather than a straight donation?
Yeah. So the benefit of DAF, you get to actually give from one place. So look at a DAF as your charitable bank account, right? So you're probably not only giving to one organization, you're probably giving to multiple organizations. Now you have this platform that you can put your money into your charitable bank account, and you can give to multiple organizations from your charitable bank account and get one tax receipt. You're not giving to 5 charities and then always looking for that tax receipt, and you don't have to do that. It's in one place, and you get to track your giving and see where it's going and things like that. So it becomes more seamless, very simple to do all of your giving in one place. And yeah, just making it easier for the donor and we say the charity.
That's great. There's a success story here. Amina shared in the chat. Thanks, Amina. And she says, we noted that we received $5,000 DAF gift after adding a very clear "we accept DAFs" button. So it's just letting your donors know that you accept it. And then once they know, that will open up the opportunity to give more.
Yeah. Thank you, Amina, for that. Amina is amazing. And the work you're doing is amazing. And it's true. So we've even gotten folks talk about when you have, even though it's just listed in the button, plan a future gift, insurance gift, estates gift, real estate gift, it just opens up the mind to have these conversations now. If the donor wasn't thinking about that before, now because they've been exposed to it on your website, now they want to have a conversation. And I think that's what we're trying to do, like plant that seed to have the conversation. If they only see credit card, that conversation just doesn't happen.
Great. Oh, there's so many good questions. Are we doing okay for time? I'll ask another one here is, what is DAF Pay and how is that different or the same from GiveWise?
DAF Pay. Good question. I'm not sure of DAF Pay, but like I said, there is a number of DAFs out there. So charitable impact, abundance, there are so many DAFs out there, and through the banks. And it's really just understanding what you're looking for. And we have a one-pager that we share with donors about really understanding what they're looking for in a DAF so that it's easier for them to pick, because there are a lot out there.
Great. How about one more here? When would a GiveWise fund not to be suitable option for a donor?
Oh,
great question.
That's a great question, and I love this. Okay, it will not be suitable if you do not want to use an email, if you do not want to access your tax receipt on your own, if you really want a tax receipt via mail, you want somebody to do that, GiveWise not. We're quick, we're seamless, we're digital, emails, self-serve, that type of idea. So that I love that question, because often when I'm speaking to charities, I am like, yeah, you're going to have a variety of donors, right? This will not be for every donor. Yeah, it won't be. There are some donors that still really want the paper-based. Yeah, great question. Thank you for asking.
That's awesome. There's still some chatter coming in around US, Canada. Yeah. Thanks everybody.
Okay, Chariot is DAF Pay now? Or Chariot different? I know Chariot.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. Chariot DAF Pay. Yeah, definitely. Thanks everyone for sharing the US resources as well. Maybe Jessica, you could just touch on that topic very quickly on potentially is GiveWise limited to Canada? We've addressed that. It's been in the chat, but maybe to those that are
Yeah,
not reading the
so
chat, just to touch on that.
Yeah, so we are limited to Canada, but if you look on the CRA website, we also allow donors to give to qualified donees. So there's a list on CRA website what qualified donees are. A lot of them are like universities in the US universities and other organizations, but at the moment, yes, it is only Canada. Oops. So I do definitely, suggest folks to reach out. Should I put that? I was going to put
Yeah,
that.
put the QR code back up. You can book a meeting with Jessica.
Now I'm like, where is it? Yeah, that would be great for folks to. So sorry.
Yeah, Eli's just put the link in the chat too if anybody wants to save
Oh,
the link
awesome.
to
Okay,
book a
great.
quick
Yeah.
15-minute chat with Jessica and ask
Yeah,
your
we can talk
questions, go
more
through your
and
website.
yes, and get more customized about what you really need for your organization, some of your pressing questions for your organization.
Amazing friends, we are at time. Want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much, Jessica and Cass, and thank you to the most engaged Q&A chat group we've ever had. You're all the best.